Eye Empire and get moving right along to the next matchup of Indian. Totally. And I mean, I take my hat off to Indian Clashers. They are slowly getting there, aren't they? Qualifying into, well, the qualifiers last year. Not quite making it to the final, so like you said, they haven't got this top-level experience, but it seems like they are slowly moving in the right direction, beating the Queen Walkers last weekend. Let's see if they can hold it together against the veterans of Darkest Muzhan. Starting out with an early dive in towards the Town Hall, nicely setting up the funnel either way. Whenever you attack from the corner of the base, it can be a little bit tricky to get your Queen directly into the compartment, but 11 has managed to do it flawlessly at the start here, Itsu.
I'm not really the biggest fan of raging up the Queen when she's facing the tunnel when there's no other damage on there, because it's most of the time not needed. I mean, the rage is still great and everything. I feel like the rage could have been a little bit more delayed or something. Either way, so far the Queen charge looks great, but he just says, I don't care about the clan casters too much. I just start my hybrid really early, and now he has a lot of damage on his Queen. He needs to use the Queen ability just to make sure that those super minions are not killing his Queen right through her all ability. And now we have the hybrid slowly making it. The warden ability most likely really soon to block those eagle shots. Perfect warden ability. This is looking really good, and the Queen is going to the outside again, taking some more buildings down.
A perfect warden ability indeed, because he got the Eagle Fire, the Giant Bomb, the Bomb Tower, protected through some of the multi-target Inferno, managing to slowly get through the splash damage here. Things are slowing down a little bit, but with the RC ability still in tow, is this going to be what he needs? The Queen will fall to the single. He's got a lot of Hog Riders and Miners, though, to try and protect the Royal Champion here. Tornado Trap goes off, but it's not really going to do anything at this stage. 11 of Indian Clashers starting out exactly how they needed, getting the 3 stars against the superstars of Darkest Muzhan. Like you said, Itsu, they were a team that formed last year, but they formed of superstar players, and Indian Clashers start out exactly like they need to with the 3 stars.
Yeah, that attack was perfect example of how you can make your hybrid just stay alive for so much longer compared to others when using your spells and obviously the warden ability perfectly. Everything was really nicely played, and this hybrid went smooth through this base, so really nicely done. And one thing is obviously Darkest Muzhan is being up next, and now we have to wait who is going in next for them, because they are kind of switching up their attack order, I feel like, with the most. Not really sure why, or like what exactly the strategy is behind that, or if they're just that flexible with this. As we said, they're all veterans, so they could most likely attack at any position in the war. So that's obviously a really nice thing coming into the match, being that flexible. So let's see if they can just push that further and get some advantage due to that fact.
Yeah, it might just come down to the fact of who can plan a particular strategy for a base. I know some clans have a particular order. Some people like the more complex plans, but like you said, if you can switch it up and keep your opponent guessing, I feel that is a huge thing when it gets to this level, because everyone has the capability of 3-starring at this level. It's really just those little things, that flexibility, tripping up your opponent, the mind games. Those are the tiny little things which can often be the difference maker. And that's where, when you said Indian Clashers are slowly gaining that experience, that's what they are now starting to gain. The experience of being up against these top teams in the high-pressured situations. And they are looking good here at the start of this war. But, like you said, it's all about how Darkest Muzhan respond now.
Yeah, that's right. If they can get the 3-star as well, that would be a huge thing for them. So let's see. And we have Carl Y on there as well, and he's going in with the Inferno Dragons, a strategy which we have not seen too often today, I feel like, which is kind of surprising. And he's starting off with a couple of Yetis, trying to snipe certain buildings on the outside and create already a funnel.
Yes, we've talked about the success of this strategy. I think it's interesting that he is starting so far down to the south of the base with that Yeti as well, probably going to drive one of his heroes into that section. Like you said, the Electro Dragon is getting pretty good chain damage up the top as well. And now we see the Inferno Dragons diving into the base with that early Grand Warden ability. We do have a Battle Blimp selected. Is he going to send it through the base or from the left-hand side towards the Town Hall? Skeleton spells already being deployed, and he's doing a pretty good job protecting his Inferno Dragon so far. A wise move to send the Battle Blimp from the area that has already been tested, and if he can take this Town Hall down early, it could be pretty helpful for those Inferno Dragons, but they're struggling to get to that multi-target Inferno, Itsu.
Yeah, that multi-target Inferno Tower is really not the easiest to get through. In addition to that, the Queen, which was supposed to take down the Eagle, did not go there right away because the King did not get the entire 3 o'clock compartment. And now it's going to be tricky. There's still so much left, Judo. And I think I'm kind of speechless right now. This might be the lowest percent which we have seen so far with this strategy. Or maybe somehow this strategy is going to turn things around. But I feel like with every single hero ability already used and only one Inferno Dragon left, I don't think that this is going to 3-star. So this now is all about the percentage that he can get and somehow squeeze out of this attack.
Wow, well, we have talked about, well, mainly last weekend we talked about, is it best to go first as a team or second? For the most part, you said in your experience, going second is better so that you know what's happening. But there was that caveat that if you went first and you took the lead, you put the 3 stars on the board, it would start to put the pressure on your opponent. And Indian Clashers could not be in a better situation right now by getting that 3-star and then arguably a huge defense.
Yeah, and I feel like the one thing which happened last week with Indian Clashers beating Queen Walkers, I feel like this was one of the best things that this could happen to them in the start of this year, because all of them said if they're looking forward to one team and to play them, and one team they would like to compete against, it is Queen Walkers. And beating and going through this team so early in the tournament is huge with winning that matchup. So momentum-wise, they're like really high up there right now. And especially with starting into this match with the 3 stars and the good defense, I think for Indian Clashers, it's looking really good right now. And I'm excited to see what they're going in with next, because so far they like their Queen Charge Hybrid, but at the same time, sometimes they mix things up with some other strategies as well. So really looking forward to see what they're going in with next.
Certainly showing the diversity within the Indian community, and I have to agree across the 2 wars, because Indian Clashers are the only team that we have seen battle twice previously in this tournament, obviously beating Legion Divina in round 1 and then the Queen Walkers. They have attacked the most so far in this tournament, and we have seen a couple of different attack strategies. Like you said, I think mainly they are kind of using the Queen Charge Hybrid as their backbone, if you will, but they can certainly branch out into different strategies when they see a particular weakness of a base. And that's something that I feel is pretty important. Having something that you can default to if you are stuck on a particular base, but also having the flexibility.
Yeah, that's right. And now we see something completely different compared to the first attack, even though we're keeping the Queen Charge, but this time no hybrid, but instead the Lalo. And now we see a couple of sneaky goblins getting their goal, and as soon as that's done, the Queen Charge is going to start right into the 3 o'clock side. So let's see how he's going to deal with that single Inferno Tower, or maybe he's just going to wall break into that compartment right at the corner of the Dark Elixir Drill. But then he's going to be in between of a lot of damage, so he needs to be perfect with his spells to keep his queen alive.
Bit of a risky dive, but this is Serial's favorite attack strategy, the Queen Charge Lalo. We've seen him 3-star with it. He did mix it up in round 2 last weekend and only got the 89% in round 2, but it was the 3 stars in his first matchup. Starting with multiple spells, multiple troop deployment here, Itsu, and I always like to see when, oh, the Super Wall Breaker didn't quite get to the center, but fortunately he has a third. Maybe he knew it was going to be a risky wall break, and he does get there. The Queen now can get in towards the multi, and this looks pretty good if that is all he wanted the Queen to get.
This is just looking perfect so far. The Queen Charge is perfect. We said it's not that easy to charge the Queen in there. He's doing that with ease, using all of his heroes right in the beginning. He's trying to go for the enemy eagle as well, which so far is not working that great. But with the Queen taking now onto this enemy defending clan castle, he's just starting things off. But dude, this looks so risky. Is he actually starting off with a ladder from the top side and the Town Hall being one of the last defenses? But I mean, he has the blimp, so maybe he's feeling kind of safe with that and saying, I got this, no problem.
Yeah, I think the battle blimp is going all the way through. There it is. Can he get this? You do have to take risks. If you want to make it to the top, the queen is on the town hall. She can damage that and get it pretty much over. Battle blimp gets there, but he's lost most of his balloons, unfortunately, to the left-hand side, with the scatter shot surviving. And I'm not sure he can get this now with a couple of wizard towers left over. A brilliant plan, I would say, with that queen charge, particularly because we know Serial prefers to attack towards the end of the war. He's managed to attack fairly high up the list here. Maybe that's where he just didn't have enough time to plan out the Lalo stage. So it's not going to be the 3-star for Indian Clashers, opening the door a little bit for Darkest Muzhan, but with this type of percentage, Indian Clashers would still be in the lead on percentage, even if they did concede the 3.
Yeah, and this attack, like, the queen charge nearly took down the entire base, and then the Lalo did not get that much, which was kind of surprising. Like, the queen, you saw it taking down the entire right side, even in the end, was damaging the town hall. That queen survived for the majority of this attack, and still the Lalo was not able to finish this. This is really unfortunate, but still, as you said, decent percentage to make sure that even with a 3-star, this match is super close. And now, I mean, we still have to get the 3-star from Darkest Muzhan, because we talked about it. The first attacks most of the time are like your safest options or your safest plans going first. Obviously, in the current meta of the clan wars, it is good to put up pressure early on the enemy team, so you want to have your best attacks anyway in the beginning. So having being able already to defend this first attack of Darkest Muzhan is obviously giving them a big advantage. But now Darkest Muzhan has to deliver, so I feel like the next 1 or 2 attacks are going to be really important to the outcome of this matchup.
It is going to be the P.E.K.K.A Smash variant that we have seen surge into the meta. Where has the Battle Blimp dropped here, Itsu, and what is he using? He has Snickies. Oh, and there is the bombs to get rid of them as well. Can he finish it off? He does. Rage and freeze spell committed to make sure he got the town hall, and that was super important that he did.
Wow, that was such a clean blimp bait in the beginning from Indian Clashers. The biggest problem right now as well, obviously, he had to invest a lot of spells to get there, but the even bigger problem, I feel like, is that he was not able to load the clan castle early. Like, he was only to load a couple of the archers, and if you're investing so much, you obviously want to have the building sound, which he got, but you want to have the extra value in taking down the clan castle early. You want to have that as well, because now he has to face it in the base. The smash just started. The king on the outside with those witches should easily funnel. The smash is going inside. The wall break is doing a great job. And now the clan castle is coming out, and now he has to deal with that vulnerability. So far, he's doing a great job of that. But is this still being enough? Because there are so many archers and headhunters coming out of the clan castle.
That will slow him down, but hopefully these super wizards can get through that pretty quickly. I did like the Warden ability nice and early to try and just preserve everything, make sure the wall breaker got him access through the base here. Beautiful jump spell will give him access to pretty much all of the compartments on the back end. Meanwhile, we have the king charging towards the Eagle artillery, but nothing going down towards that scatter shot as of the moment, as it just swipes away at these super wizards. And down they go alongside the queen, who is clinging on. Can she make it to the scatter shot? Oh, the healer's taking damage now as well, but they survive. Queen goes down, Scatter's still alive, and with the royal champion and the ability, can she get this, Itsu? There's a lot of defenses that she needs to get through.
Oh my god, there are really so many defenses still left. With that scatter, with the Tesla still up, this is going to be close. Royal Champ ability now is getting used, but their scatter is still staying up, and that's still nearly full hit points at this stage with the defending skeleton trap. I don't think that this is going to be enough. This means this is going to be the next defense for Indian Clashers. They're coming so prepared into this match. You just saw the blimp bait in the beginning. Such an awesome bait right there with the double black mine, making sure the blimp is not getting that far, and then the spring trap with those small bombs, making sure that the town has not been taken down with those raged up sneaky goblins. So far, I have to say, I'm really impressed by the defense of Indian Clashers, holding back a really strong Darkest Muzhan so far on 2 defenses. That's already pretty promising for the start of this clan war, I would say.
Definitely, and it does give them the advantage moving now to the middle point of the war. Interestingly, when we did ask Indian Clashers how they prepared for this event, they did say, obviously preparing for attack, but building and, more importantly, testing their bases, making sure they test them again and again, arguably for situations like that where they can sneakily bait their opponent, because that is such a huge aspect to base building. Any base can be taken down, really, but it's all about just tripping your opponent and tripping them early on in the attack as well.
Yeah, that's right, and that's exactly what they did over here with. I mean, we all most likely have used at some time of our Clash life a blimp, so it's not easy to build against that. So really good job. But now we have Indian Clashers on attack, and they're going with the super witches, no lightnings whatsoever, 4 freeze spells, which leaves in the end 2 rages and 2 jumps. So he wants to get really far into the base without breaking any walls, and this is why he is bringing 6 sneaky goblins.
Saab is Indian Clashers' top performer at the moment with a 95% 2-star in round 1 and the 3-star in round 2. So he wants to keep that momentum going and really put Indian Clashers in the lead here. If you're just tuning in, they are ahead by a star because they got an opening 3-star, but this could move them even further towards tomorrow's matches. Starting with that Grand Warden walk, as you mentioned, just carefully luring out any of the defenses in that area, taking those down so that he can then dive into the right hand side. It's interesting that he's used the jump spell this early, Itsu, because whilst it's not likely to run out, it is a factor that it can happen, and I guess he just wanted to make sure he wasn't focused on dropping that once he was then deploying the troops.
Oh, that Warden is really low on hit points, and he has to use the Warden ability. I mean, the Warden ability was perfect anyways, if we're completely honest. Like, he wanted to use it anyway for the blimp to make sure that it's reaching the town hall, and facing the enemy queen is nice as well. So it could have been worse, but the worst thing just happened. The Warden just died. The healers deciding to not heal up the Warden, going for those super witches, and the town was going down as well. So a lot of things happening at the same time right now, Judo.
Oh, and the Yeti Mites just missed the expo. They were caught in the tornado trap, which was set there to bait the battle blimp as well. But just the fact of not getting that expo is a huge deal because he can't get access to it. Even though it has a tiny little bit of health, it's just going to chip away at his troops. And like you said, with the Warden going down, it is such a big deal. Yes, the ability might be a huge part of an attack, but having the HP buff, particularly when you have troops that are high in hit points, can be very important. Now, Saab could certainly still do this. He has 1 minute, he has the Queen ability and a freeze spell, but he's got a huge Tesla farm on the back end of the base, which I feel is going to be the most troublesome, Itsu.
Yeah, the freeze was used onto the scatter, but the scatter was already dead at that point, so that's so unfortunate. The scatter going down and the freeze at the same time. Now the queen somehow has survived. She needs to get out of the range of the expo, which she is not able to do so. So we have the next defense in this match, which means Darkest Muzhan still have a chance to come back into this matchup with Indian Clashers not being able to get as many percentage as they would like to. And especially right now with this match being kind of close percentage-wise, they obviously would have liked to get more percentage, but this seems like it's going to end up on around 85%-ish, which obviously, yeah, is not the thing which they were wishing for.
Yeah, and I feel that is exactly why Indian Clashers made the decision there. I think there was probably a team decision on voice to use the freeze spell early to try and maximize percentage on that side. Maybe they just felt like they weren't going to get through the Tesla farm down the bottom, so assure you take the defenses on that area so that you have all of the non-defensive buildings free to clean up, because when the war is this close, yes, they are 1 star in the lead with that opening 3-star, but the percentage is kind of touch and go. So you always want to try and give yourself as much buffering room as you can. And if you know the 3-star is not happening, then you have to shift your focus completely towards the percentage and assuring that.
Yeah, and if Darkest Muzhan with their team captain Wei would get the next 3-star, there would be actually, I think, 0.2% ahead of Indian Clashers. So this is showing how close this match is. But before that, yeah, the MVP of the World Championship 2019 has the 3-star first. And he's starting off with some nice lightnings in the core. Obviously doing some damage already to the enemy World Champion without taking her down. But this is always nice, doing a Lalo attack and having already the enemy defending air targeting heroes damaged first. And now we have the hero part with every single of those 3 heroes getting into the top side, and then obviously the wall break into that enemy queen compartment.
Yeah, finding the Tesla farm up in this area is a good thing, because with the lava loon it can certainly do a lot of damage. But is it going to be the difference maker in him getting the defenses he wants? It doesn't look like it, because with an ice golem now just popping, the king charging into the base, he is tearing apart this area of the base, and it is a brilliant hero dive alongside the lightning spells. He now has clear pathing for his lava loon, and majority of his spells, well, given the lightning, majority of his spells left over because he used the ice golems for the heroes. Oh my word, the queen is going to get the eagle, and I hadn't even realized that. And the tornado. Wow.
I don't think you could get any more value out of your heroes at this point. So Wei is just doing a crazy job of actually getting all of those enemy defenses down. And now we have the Slammer tanking nicely the scatter shot, but actually nothing is going on that scatter, so he needs to do something about that. He has not deployed the Warden just yet. He wanted to wait if there are any like headhunters in the defending flank cast, and now the Warden ability, and there are some more loons reinforcing to make sure the top scatter is going down. Now the next hound is going to be deployed at the bottom side. The Lalo is making through it. Only the scatter is actually a big threat at this point for the backhand. He has 1 skeleton spell still left if he wants to place it at some point. The freeze, a haste, judo. This is looking really, really good.
This is incredible, given the fact that the Stone Slammer has not even popped yet. There is all the spell deployment in this compartment to make sure that it goes down. We're not taking any risks here. The Wizard Tower is still alive, but thankfully I think it was on the Warden for the most part, rather than the balloons. So they surge on through, taking down the final defenses, and with 40 seconds left on the clock, the minions should be able to clean up through these storages here, meaning that Darkest Muzhan are back in action, getting this war to the point where it is neck and neck moving into the next couple of attacks. Indian Clashers will still be in the lead by that little bit, but is he going to get this, Itsu? The gold storage in the middle is not very damaged, and he has the King's Altar with the Lava Hound being popped.
Top left, the loons skipped
drill,
that
yes.
Dark Elixir drill, and this is going to be... No way, the 99 Classic. Oh no, this is not what he was hoping for. It was such a too big of an overkill, like 1 or 2 loons saved, and this is exactly what like most of the players are doing. They're saving 1 or 2 loons just in case that those loon splits at the end of the attack are not perfect, and this is exactly what happened right here with this one building getting skipped by the loons in the end in the cleanup process. Percentage-wise, though, this match is all tied up. There's only 1 star, which is the difference maker right now, and with still having 4 attacks overall in this war to go, there are many things and many possible ways for both teams still winning this match.
Well, there's not many possible ways left, because he has just gone in there with that 99%. I feel he had to use the balloons for the scatter shot. I think he was probably going to save 1 or 2 and then tried to recover it early on. Let's not focus on that. It is all tied up on percentage. Indian Clashers in the lead with that 1 star. And it is Piyush with the Mass Witches Where is he going to use the lightning? He only has 6 of them here with the earthquakes, so it is going to be one of the scatter, getting a bit of damage onto the RC, like you said, but also taking down the Grand Warden statue is a pretty big deal, actually, when he's then diving into this area of the base.
Yeah, it's always looking so interesting to see so many witches, and they're just spawning so many skeletons that it's just crazy. So the Wardwalk so far looks really good, like taking down the defenses and making like a nice cut, because with taking down those 3 buildings, like the 2 archer towers and the elixir storage, there's no way for those witches or the queen to walk to the bottom side. They have no other choice than getting into that single inferno tower, getting into that tunnel with most likely those 2 wall breaks, into the bomb tower, into the tunnel compartment, and then obviously getting into the core with those jumps. And with only having to face 1 multi-inferno tower, the biggest threat to the entire attack is going to be the eagle. So let's keep a closer look onto the eagle and what exactly he's going to target, because that could be a huge game changer in this attack. But so far it's looking great. Only the heroes are getting targeted, which is totally fine.
Yeah, it could definitely be a huge game changer due to the fact that you have to deploy all of your witches pretty much together in order to gain that DPS momentum, meaning that he activates the eagle very early on in the attack. Now, the witches are doing okay, and he has split the witches a little bit to avoid any maximized damage from the eagle artillery, slowly getting to the town hall. But he's not really got amazing pathing here unless he can speed things up at the top to then drive the witches through towards the multi.
Yeah, he definitely needs to take down the scatter as well. Like, the scatter is huge. The scatter is one of the most dangerous defenses against those witches. And this right now is like nicely dealt with having the king and the P.E.K.K.A. and the royal champion on the outside, tanking that scatter shot, making sure the scatter shot cannot target any of those witches. The witches on the other side are going to deal with that single inferno tower, which would be a bigger threat to the royal champion, which right now is slowly dealing with that enemy scatter. So this right now is not looking too bad if those witches can quickly deal with that back end eagle.
Yeah, I think this looks pretty good because he still does have witches alive. If they can spawn the troops quick enough, now that that ice golem has gone down, the wizard towers are going to be a huge deal. But the royal champion is stepping up to help out. Witches survive through this area, so if they can spawn the skeletons quick enough to get through this wall, they might be able to help out. But with 15 seconds remaining, it's all about the time. He's got a wizard at the top with some huge buildings to take down, and Darkest Muzhan did just see the agonizing 99%. Piyush is going to have that same feeling. Even though it's not a 99 in itself, it is a time fail because the base was done for. Piyush searching for his first 3-star of the tournament, ever so close. But it does mean Indian Clashers still have that 1-star advantage. Darkest Muzhan, with the extra attack, could easily take the lead.
Yeah, it is so close, this match. Like, it could like lean to either side at this point. Like, 1 3-star and Darkest Muzhan would be in the lead as well percentage-wise, because they would get like a huge percentage boost with getting the 3-star as well. So, I mean, let's just see and kind of like take a look at what they're coming up with next. And we have Ty, one of the strongest attackers in this tournament so far, and he's coming up with a kind of creative approach. He's going in with the mass Inferno Dragons, even though he's not bringing as many as usual. Instead, he's bringing a golem, an ice golem. So I'm looking for that. Like, let's see what he has in store for us.
Yeah, it looks like he's diving his heroes a little bit further into the base. We mentioned the Eagle Artillery and how important it is for the Inferno Dragon attack. He's going to take that down early on and also diving towards a scatter shot as well. But the Queen has walked a little bit here. He wanted her around towards the scatter. The Golem is pretty much tanking nothing right now. Not the opening tie needed here, Itsu.
Oh yeah, that was really unfortunate. You want to take down at least one of the 2 scatter shots, making sure there's not as much splash damage for his Inferno Dragons. And now out of this investment for basically nothing, like the entire golem was not really worth it. This could have been like a ton of more Inferno Dragons, So this is going to be interesting now, how he can deal with this double scatter shot, because the Inferno Dragons are just ignoring the scatter shot for now, which is never a good thing. Just take a look at how much damage this one scatter can deal to the group of Inferno Dragons. Now the blimp is slowly making it into the Town Hall direction, because the Town Hall still needs to go down as well. With all of those Tesla inside the base, this is so much damage, and still with the super minions as well. But the blimp is sneaking through, should take down the Town Hall. But still, like, just for the Inferno Dragons, there's a lot still standing.
Yeah, at least he did get the Town Hall. The Inferno Dragon's going down fast. He has a lot of spells, Itsu, that he hasn't used yet. Interestingly, he uses the Ice Golem with the Royal Champion. Is he counting on the Royal Champion finishing off this base with free freeze spells and an invisibility? Also the Skeleton Trap. This is interesting. I'm intrigued as to why he saved the spells so much, to be honest with you.
The Royal Champion first off is just skipping the enemy Royal Champion. Now we have an invisible... No! She's just like keep skipping that Royal Champ. And now we have the Ground Expo over there as well. Like a lot of damage on that Royal Champ. He's missing the cannon, which means the Royal Champ is going to go down. And now we have slowly made it to the back end. The Royal Champion, the defending Royal Champion, still alive with one Inferno Dragon and one Electro Dragon. I'm sorry, only one Inferno Dragon still left. And I don't think the Inferno Dragon is going to win the 1v1, no.
I think he did a pretty good job at rescuing the percentage there, because mid-attack, the Inferno Dragons had clumped up. The scatter shot was doing a lot of damage, and he was losing the Inferno Dragons fast. If you had have told me at that point of the attack that he was going to get nigh on 90%, I probably would not have agreed with you. So he's done a pretty good job to keep Darkest Muzhan in the percentage race here. It does mean that Indian Clashers kind of slowly take the lead on percentage. They do have that star advantage as well. But it does mean that Darkest Muzhan are still in this fight. Because if Indian Clashers do not 3-star, then Darkest Muzhan could take it in the final battle. So whilst they are behind and Indian Clashers could secure it here, it was really important that Tide did keep the percentage high in that last attack.
Yeah, that's for sure true. Now it's up to Indian Clashers. I feel like a really high percentage 2-star or even a 3-star would make sure that they're going to win this. And now we have the next attack with Super Witches once again. As we already said, those pros love their Super Witches. It's such a strong army composition, and it's working on basically any base.
Yes, we do see the versatility of this attack. Krish Vishnoi, with a lot of experience in himself, pulling out the 3 stars as the final attacker versus Queen Walkers last week. So if he can do the same today, he will move Indian Clashers to tomorrow's matches. With that Grand Warden Walk just slowly taking out some of the buildings on the bottom. Doesn't really look like he's going to dive into the base for anything specific, because we tend to see around about a 1-minute Grand Warden Walk, and I don't think he will be able to get much more here before he should start the actual attack. Yes, here he comes with the Super Witches.
Yeah, he wanted to take down the air defense, first off, to make sure the pathing for the Super Witches is great. They cannot be distracted or anything. And second of all, he wanted to make sure that his healers are safe and they're not getting targeted by this enemy air defense. The wall break so far looks great. The king in the second compartment is a nice idea, because this is giving him the access to the enemy eagle without having his Super Witches getting wall break in there. The down spread to the town looked great as well. And now it's all about how good can those Super Witches deal with their Town Hall. At the top side, we have the enemy king taken down with those 2 headhunters. Really great idea of bringing those 2 headhunters, taking the king down, and this means the Royal Champion has a way easier job. But now those Super Witches are splitting a little bit. The Town Hall should be taken down. Town Hall is going down, and this is looking really, really solid for the back end of this base, with so many Super Witches still alive.
Looks very good in my opinion. The Coco Loons were fantastic. Right as I say that, he does lose a healer. However, the healers have survived throughout the inside of the base, and that is all that matters. He took out a lot of black bombs early on. It is huge to protect your healers, to make sure that your Super Witches can survive. And with the Royal Champion moving through the final Tesla, Super Witches continuing to tank the Expo, Indian Clashers are one step further to to winning this match and progressing. What does he have for cleanup towards the top of the base? He does have a king, a wizard, queen's ability. I think it is the 3-star and the victory here, Itsu, for Indian Clashers.
They were so good over this tournament, over on the defensive side, and now in the last attack in this match, they're going to clutch things out. Such a great attack, really great idea with putting that king alone into that eagle compartment. And this means Indian Clashers are going to move forward to the next round, and we're going to see them again tomorrow to play in there as well. And their opponent will be obviously like, we're going to see that in the next match, but still, Darkest Muzhan has one attack still to go. And let's see, let's hope they're going to finish off this tournament and this match with the 3-star. That would be pretty cool.
I'm sure they certainly will, because they have put up one fantastic performance today. Indian Clashers will be facing off against either Vatang or Method to Madness. We will be checking... my apologies. We'll be finding out who they are playing in the next matchup. But Indian Clashers taking the victory there, and we will find out exactly what Darkest Muzhan can put on the board for this next attack. Let's take predictions, Itsu. We've done this for the final attack the last couple of times. What do you feel that Darkest Muzhan are going to be attacking with? I
say Queen Charge Hybrid.
Yeah, they do like Queen Charge Hybrid, don't they? I'm going to say the Inferno Dragons. Let's mix it up a little bit. I don't think we've seen that too much from Darkest Muzhan. So here we go. After this one, we will be checking out the replays and then into the final matchup of HT Family versus Vatang. I mean, Kartek with the Dragons. I was kind of close.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, you were kind of right with that, bringing the lightnings in there as well with those dragons, something which we have not seen too often, especially, or at least not successful in this tournament. I feel like the only dragon attacks which we have seen so far being successful in this tournament with like dragons was bats with the dragons. No lightning dragon attack so far was successful, I believe. So let's see if Darkest Muzhan could be the first team to get the 3-star with this strategy. He has 2 lightnings left, which he's going to use for the sweeper. And well, entry-wise, I think this looks pretty solid. He's trying to do like a cut now to make sure his dragons, if he's going to release them into the town hall, they're going to have a really nice pathing into the back end, especially with his heroes now then on the outside, making sure everything is like getting pressured into the core.
Yeah, I was going to say one thing I noticed there was all 4 expos are on ground, so it makes sense to just push the dragons through this central area and keep the heroes on the outside to correct pathing for them and try and keep away from the expos a little bit. You can see the range of the grounded expo obviously on the queen. Dragons do enter the base to the town hall. A nice warden ability will protect them through the Giga Bomb because they do take surprisingly quite a bit of damage. Then they will move on forward, but can they get to this single quick enough as the traps start to go off Itsu and the clan castle troops engage? How devastating will this be? They're taking a lot of damage moving through the center of the base now.
Especially with no warden ability left anymore, this is a lot of damage on those dragons. The eagle is shooting non-stop. Always remember, this eagle is going down kind of as the last defense. Now the entire Tesla farm at the core as well. This is dealing so much damage to the dragons. And at this point, there's only 1 or maybe 2 dragons alive. This was such a heavy stack core, and I feel like this base was just designed to defend those dragons, even though they were kind of like running the bait, I would argue, with this ground expos. And you can see there's a back-end air defense anyway, so this base, yeah, there was no chance for the dragons to get through. So really good base from Indian Clashers once again. There, I feel like we can see on the last 8 teams now that the bases have improved as well so much. We saw it already now over all of the matches today. Those bases from those pro teams, they are really, really impressive and are defending crazy, crazy good.
They certainly are, and like you said, I would definitely think that was baited from Indian Clashers to try and force your opponent to use A. 4 expos do not make the whole base, and that shows how good they were at defending. Indian Clashers taking the victory, moving on to tomorrow's matches. What a dominant performance, really, Itsu, versing the superstar team. Whilst it was touch and go throughout